Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first mini lesson. Today, we're going to go over Stress 101. So, as we go through this, pull up that mental health journal, take some notes as we go through it, kill two birds with one stone. Some of it today is going to be a review from Wellness 1, so just kind of easing you all into Stress 101. All right, so the first couple lessons will be intro to stress concepts, talking about what happens to our body when it's under stress. Basic vocab is what we'll kind of go over today, and then positive and negative ways to cope with that stress. So, Stress 101, again, we're going to go over that basic vocab, and then we're going to think about and make a list of our stressors and your stressors that you have currently in your life, right? Trying to make this class as relevant to you as possible. So, stress. This is your body's way of responding and reacting to any kind of demand or challenge. Okay, we're going to talk about the different kinds of stress, but it's just a reaction. It's your body's reaction to pretty much anything that happens around you, good or bad, short term or long term. So, stressor, another vocab here, anything that causes stress. Anything that causes stress reaction can be considered a stressor. Okay, it can be something really big, like having a job interview or losing a job, or it can be something really small, like not finding one of your shoes in the morning, only finding one blue sock and one green sock. Okay, it can be big, it can be small, and your stressors depend 100% on your perception. All right, so something that stresses me out might not stress somebody else out. I'm a very clean, organized individual. And so the fact that I like to have everything so clean and so tidy in my house, I know stresses out my family and it stresses out my friends. All right. But when I walk into a space and everything is not exactly where it's supposed to be, that stresses me out. So everything's going to stress, every piece of stress is going to affect you differently. It'll affect your siblings differently, and definitely your friends and family around you. All right. So moving into our two different kinds of stress. So we've got our positive and negative stress. So hopefully this is a review from Wellness 1. So we have our eustress, which is kind of what we think about with our good stress. Okay, so it's small amounts of stress. It increases your achievement and is motivating to you. Okay, so if I'm stressed about something, but I'm a little bit excited for it, okay, that's good stress. So I'm the softball coach here at Eastview. Our season's coming up here in a few weeks. That's stressful to me, right? Making sure that everything's ready to go, making sure the kids are going to be ready. But at the same time, it's really exciting for me. All right. Then we have our distress, which is going to be our negative stress. Okay. So our extreme or long-term stress, it could also be short-term, but it wears down on your body. It causes anxiety, doesn't make you excited, can hinder your achievement. So pretty much just anything that's kind of weighing you down. And you're not really seeing those positive and exciting benefits coming from it, is what we're going to call our distress. All right, so make sure you know those two definitions, kind of the meaning between them. So when we think about stress, since there's some positive sides to it and some negative sides to it, stress can be a good thing. We want a little bit of stress in our life in order to perform. Okay, if we're not stressed about anything, we've got no sense of urgency. Nothing's ever going to need to get done. Okay, but if we have too much stress, okay, so nothing's ever going to get done either because we're going to have anxiety. We're going to be burned out. We're just not going to be able to perform. Okay, so we want to have that peak performance here. If we're looking at this chart, we want to be right in the middle, right? Not too little stress, not too much. Okay, we don't want to be able to not function, but we want to be right in the middle with that optimal stress level. Okay, I don't want to leave all my lesson planning for all 4 classes till the night before. Okay, that would be way too much stress. All right, but I also don't want to not have any lesson plans to do, or else I'll just sit around and do nothing, right? So I want to, same thing with homework, okay? Procrastinating sometimes can bring out the best in you. If you procrastinate everything, probably not, right? But a little stress sometimes can make you perform a little bit better. I'm not telling you to procrastinate, but I'm just saying there might be a little bit behind the science of it. Okay, so how much can you handle? So similar to how stress affects you, how much you can handle is going to be different for everybody. You could be the person over here using their feet to juggle. You can be juggling with just 3 balls. Maybe you can't juggle at all. All right, so there's not a specific number. Some people like a lot of stress in their lives. I'm somebody who likes to stay really busy. Okay, the busier the better. The more things I can go do, the better. If I'm just sitting at home and I have nothing to do and all my ducks are in a row, I don't find that to be as enjoyable as pushing myself and going to do as much as I possibly can. All right, so it's going to be important that you can find out how much stress is good for you. So on your mental health journal now, okay, you are going to write down your stressors. So think about everything in your life, okay, and try to just think outside of schoolwork. Okay, obviously schoolwork is going to be a stressor for everybody, but try to get creative. So what's your home life like? Okay, your friends, your sports team, your clubs, whatever it is. Okay, I want you to write down as many stressors as you can think of, good and bad. Okay, so people, places, circumstances. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities at home right now, and that could be a stress to you. All right, maybe there's some surprises coming up. That could be a stress to you. My best friend just got engaged, and her fiance was planning it with me, and I had to hide that from her for like 2-3 weeks. That was a big stress on me. All right, hopefully that's probably not happening to any of you guys right now. But good things can cause stress. Surprises can cause stress. Challenges, everything. So go ahead and make that list on your mental health journal there. All right, so we're going to think about, we've talked about our eustress and our distress, but within these stressors, we have some controllable things and some non-controllables. Okay, so if it's controllable, can you get rid of it? Okay, can you prepare a little bit better for it? Can you avoid the situation, the person? Can you stop participating? So if I pick up a bunch of hobbies, let's say I picked up 3 new hobbies this winter, and one of them stressing me out, I could probably drop that. I can control that and no longer be stressed out by that. If there's a friend in my life that's really stressful to me, okay, I can control that. I can avoid them. I can realize that they're not the best scenario for me. And then think about which of these stressors are non-controllables. Okay, so maybe your responsibilities at home aren't in your control. Okay, your parents have to go to work. It's just something you have to do. Okay, so there's controllables and non-controllables. So when we're stressed about something, always think about, can I control this? Can I not? And then go from there. Okay, sometimes if we realize that we can control the stress, it's a little bit easier to manage. And same thing, if we realize we have no control over it, it's also a little bit easier to manage. All right, so on your sheet, okay, you're going to sort them between the short-term and the long-term stressors. So things that could be resolved soon, within a day or two. Okay, so if you have a big test coming up and you're really stressed about it, pretty soon that's going to be in the past. Okay, so that's going to be one of your short-term stressors. A long-term stressor, okay, maybe one of your parents lost a job. You have to take over responsibility and you don't see that ending anytime soon. That could be a long-term stressor. Okay, so think about your stressors. How many of them are short-term? How many of them are going to be long-term for you? All right, and that is all we have for our Stress 101 today. So go through and make sure you fill out your health journal. You do not have to turn it in. Take those notes, fill out the reflection, and then hang on to it. We'll turn it in eventually, but just wanted you guys to get a good little lesson in. All right, we'll see y'all later.